We have another dynamic duo coming up here today, and what a gift it is to have this amazing energy on stage for this day. So these two, they are the founders of Agent Builders. This is a mission-driven real estate group built on mentorship, growth, and passion for helping others succeed. And that is such a theme today. I think we're talking so much about pouring into each other while we are doing things for ourselves and for our families and for our businesses by default because of who we are in this room. I think, and can anybody else feel this energy? We are all here for each other as well, and what a beautiful thing that is. So give yourselves a round of applause, truly. This is a beautiful thing today. Thank you for being here. So these two, they lead an impressive organization of more than 1,200 agents, both nationally and internationally. So they impact lives on a global scale. Known for their heart-centered coaching, they've guided countless agents toward financial freedom and businesses that truly serve their life. And that's such an important distinction, right? Not life-serving business, business-serving life. Above all, though, they are committed to building legacy, not just business, and one that is rooted in impact, mentorship, and generational success. Please welcome to the stage the leaders, the mentors, the Masseys, James and Tam.
Let's go.
What's up, Charlotte?
Let's go, Charlotte.
What's up? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. This is a picture of my family, my lovely wife that I've been married to for 26 years now. And these are our 3 kids. As you can see, they are very active in activities. They keep us very busy. I'm gonna be straight up, we're tired. So, what we're going to be talking about today is pivotal moments. And the way I define the pivotal moment is a time when there's a shift in the direction in which you are going. That happened early on with me. I actually read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and also Cash Flow Quadrant. And what it did, it led me to actually want to be a real estate investor. And what I did is I had a business where I had 5 stores inside of the Braves Stadium. And I was taking the money from there and I was investing in real estate. And one day I got the bright idea, instead of me actually having to go through a real estate agent, I'll go ahead and get my license, and then that's where I can find my own deals. And shortly after I got my license, I got a call from the people at the Braves Stadium, and they began to tell me they were going to cancel my contract. So, I ended up looking at her, she was looking at me, and I said, well, I guess I got to go sell some houses. So that's kind of how I got into real estate. I never really intended on selling to the public. So what ended up happening is a pivotal moment happened. I struggled like most people do in real estate. I had no systems, I had no processes, I had no lead generation, didn't know how to convert anything, right? So I got invited to go to California for a real estate conference, and didn't have a whole lot of money at that particular time, but I knew I had to make a change, so I actually went out there. And it was similar to this, where there was people on stage, and I was in the audience listening to people on stage, and the person on stage was talking about exactly what they did in order to grow their real estate business. And I'm gonna be honest, I was skeptical, right? Because I was like, man, that's them, but what about everybody else? Luckily, I ended up talking to the person that was sitting next to me, and come to find out, they were actually selling more houses than the person on stage. So I had to take notice. So what I started doing is I started going to lunch, I started going to dinner, I started after breaks, I started talking to multiple people, and as I talked to them, they had really good real estate business, which actually built up my confidence and my faith that I can do it for myself. So me and my dad had a business that was separate from that one, that was in it together. It was my business, but we kind of worked together. And what I ended up doing, I decided to burn the boats. I literally called him from California, and I told him, I said, you can have that business. I don't want to do that no more. I'm going 100% into real estate. And I started copying, I started using systems and processes, and that following year, I went from 36,000 commissions to 360,000 in only 12 months. And the year after that, I went from 360 over $500,000 in commission. So I had a little bit of money, right? And what I did is I started kind of building a team, and real estate agents usually have one or two problems. Either they have a lot of time and no money, or they have a lot of money and no time. And I wanted leverage. I wanted freedom, right? So I built a team, and what was going on with the team, even though I had it, and I was trying to create leverage within my life, I still wasn't able to create any leverage because I found myself babysitting a lot of agents, trying to keep the best ones not to quit, and things wasn't always right. So much that when I was going on vacation, my wife was taking pictures of me not enjoying the vacation, but actually working and on the phone, right? So I knew something had to change, right? So next pivotal moment was I got introduced to a company called eXp Realty, right? So in the company, I went there, and just to be honest with you, my plan, even though I saw the model, which was different than everything else, I was really, trying to go from $500,000 to $1 million in commission because I was thinking that was the way. Hey, if one thing is not working, do more of that, and then maybe that'll work. I don't know how many of y'all try that, right? Just do more of what's not working. So what ended up happening, luckily, early on, another pivotal shift that happened is that I went to Key West. And in Key West, I got introduced to some great real estate agents. I was, first of all, like people that were selling way more houses than me. And this was different, though, because every place I had been before, they talked about where I had, where they had came from, even though they probably wasn't doing that anymore. This was the first time where they was talking about where they were going. And people that were selling more houses, but they was trying to get out of actually selling houses and building an organization, and a rev share organization specifically. So what I ended up doing is I came back to Atlanta, and I started building a rev share organization. That's what I started working on. That's what I started building. Now, we got some amazing leaders that has helped with that whole process. So real quick, just like, attracting agents or agent attraction to build a rev share organization, what I found is there's hard things to do and there's easy things to do. Hard things, having eXp breath. Hey, we got rev share. Hey, we got stock. Hey, we got, you're gonna make a whole lot of money and stuff like that. That's hard, right? What I found easy is if you just pique somebody's interest. Find out what it is that they're trying to accomplish. Find out what they want to actually do, and then be the solution for that particular thing. Hard things, explaining the eXp opportunity. I don't know how many of you all tried to explain the 7 levels and you get percentage and all that kind of stuff right there, right? That's hard for me, right? So easy. Watch a video about the business, right? And I say watch the video, I'm not saying send a video, I'm saying actually watch it with them. I don't like to have these, did you watch the video conversations? I used to have those, they suck. Hard things, explaining why it's in their best interest to be part of eXp. That's very hard. Easy, set up a 3-way call. Be the bridge. Brian Carruthers actually goes into detail about this, and it breaks it down to its simplest form, right? Hard things, converting an agent that wants to join. A lot of times when people get off the 3-way call, they still don't want to join, and that's okay. So what you should do, you're going to invite them to an event, invite them to something like this. They start actually seeing the culture and everything. Hard things, follow-up. Everybody knows fortunate to follow up, but at the same time, we don't do it. Why? Easy thing. Invite them to another event. Invite them to another 3-way call. Hey, you have to show up to Charlottesville. Hey, you have to actually meet so-and-so. That's how we do it. Just keep that whole process going. So I continued to go to events, because I realized that, I grew my business from going to events, but I'm gonna be honest, they're like some amazing places, and I was there and I was going back and telling my wife, and, she wasn't what I felt was getting it all the way. And I started feeling guilty because she was back at home with the kids and stuff, and she said she got it, but she didn't really get it because it was secondhand information. So I knew that if one would put the Bible says one will put 1,000 a flight, 2 will put 10,000 a flight, and I just wanted her in the business, so I came up with a plan. Babe, you want to tell them what my plan was?
So my husband comes home and says, hey, do you want to go to Cabo? Ladies, if your husband comes home and asks you, I'm going to tell you. What do you say, ladies? What do you say? Yes. So guess what? I went to Cabo. So he invited me to Cabo. So not only did I go to Cabo, but I was like, I need to go in the room. What has got this man on fire when he comes back home and he's all, And I'm like, what? So I went to got a chance to go in and actually hear the speakers, amazing speakers. Grant Cardone, his wife, got a chance to see the founder of EXP, and I met this guy called Brent Gove. So what do you know? I was all in. So this is me on the beach in Cabo after my walk. We got a chance to meet some other amazing realtors, and we all went on a yacht boat together. I mean, you're in Cabo. What else can you do? Also, One Big Fire. You guys are going this year, so you'll find out what that actually means. So what did I do? When I say all in, I'm talking about all in. I come back and get my real estate license, of course. So from there.
It worked.
So this is us celebrating my real estate license. And so from that point, what do? We continue to go to events just like this. Now, my very first bill, Tony Robbins of all people, oh my God. And so as you can see, Tony was talking right to me and James right here. The person behind us was so gracious to share this picture. And she's like, yes, I have to share this with you. And I was like, yes, because Tony was talking to us, you know? So from there, what do? We continue to go to events. The power is in the events. So as you can see, not only did we go to the events and go in, but I'm meeting agents like everyone in here. We're sitting by the pool. I'm in the hot tub. I meet this couple called Shelly and Kevin Johnson. I mean, it is amazing when you go. Amazing the agents that you meet and the things that they've accomplished. So our next pivotal moment was we were invited to Puerto Rico. This trip to Puerto Rico, we met even more amazing agents, but even more so, it required us to dig into ourselves because it was about building funnels. If we were going to build funnels, we had to actually dig in and say, what do we have to offer to the marketplace? What do agents really, really need? And so what we came up with, agents are lacking leads, so they need a lead generation system. They're lacking lead conversion, so we were able to help with that, and also leverage. So this is a picture of our funnel that we built, and then from there we have some evidence of agents that have been successful using it. And so my portion of my real estate side was that I was able to learn how to build the funnels for agents so they can generate leads. And so this is me building funnels with my freedom that I have. And so now, James is going on trips and vacations, but notice he doesn't have that phone glued to his ear this time. Not only did he not have the phone glued to his ear, but he was able to invite his mom, his dad, and his sister. So when we go out to some amazing places, and you always have to go to Disney World, of course, and then this year we were able to go to Puerto Rico and explore the island. And so next brings me to the next point. Our next pivotal moment that me and James experienced was just being open to new opportunities, new ideas, not being closed in. Every year, Annie and Craig Nash, they go to Cabo and they say, hey, you guys want to go deep sea fishing? No. Okay, but they came back and they showed us these amazing pictures. They're catching marlin, and then guess what they do the next year? Hey, you guys want to go deep sea fishing with me? No. I want to go and ride the yacht. So what they did was they invited us this year, and we actually said yes, okay?
And we talked Levi into going with us.
And we talked Levi into going with us as well. So this is the picture of us, 6:30 in the morning in Cabo. We're like, oh, okay. We're out going out deep sea fishing, my first trip. And so think about this. Will you be ready and recognize your next opportunity when it presents itself? And so this is me and James watching the sunrise in Cabo over the shore. James, you want to tell them what happened?
Yeah, the cool thing about this, they really attracted us to go deep sea fishing, marlin fishing, right? So, you know, think about it, right? You know, we said no twice. They showed us pictures, piqued our interest, we actually showed up. Then we go up there, the captain tells us they're not gonna catch any fish. 2 hours, we don't catch anything, right? 2 hours, we get something on the hook. So when they catch us on the hook, like literally, this is what pulls up out of the water, right? It's coming through there. The whole time we're just doing it, I fight with this thing for like 30 minutes. Craig is holding me on the back because it almost pulls me in the water. He's telling me, I got you, man, making me feel comfortable. The captain's pulling it from the string. Tamara's taking a video. Annie and Levi's for more support. And this one ends up getting pulled up out of the water, right? They literally attracted us. That's the whole process with this. Like when you're doing this, it takes a village. It takes everybody to do it, right? So this is a picture of the marlin that we catch. 130 pounds, 93 inches, right? So funny thing about it, right? You know, my wife is taking a picture. She's participating. She wants to document everything. So 30 minutes after this, she also takes another picture, and she texts it me throwing up because I'm seasick at this point. So thanks, babe. so, you know, God has a sense of humor because, like, you know, 30 minutes after that, I also take a picture of her. Now she's throwing up because she's seasick, right? So the thing of it is that it won't always be pretty, but endure the pain, get through the hard part because it's worth it at the end, right? This is the Marlin that's on my wall right now, y'all. Yeah. So this is it here. The reason why these events are so important is because it helps you to level up with your potential and what is possible, right? So success starts with a decision, not after you achieve something. You have to decide here in this room, listen to all these people, that you're going to do something different. Action is the real measure of knowing. People always say they know something, but they don't act on it. I'm going to say if you don't act on it, you didn't really know it, because knowing is acting. You cannot look at your future while holding on to your past. You have to let one of them go. I literally had to let something go in order to go forward. You can't hold on something and grab to something in your future at the same time. You're just going to stand still. I did not make $500,000 in commission when I left California. $500,000 in the commission was already in me before I got there. It just had to be unlocked. Yeah. 1,200 agent wasn't accomplished when I got back from Key West. 1,200 was already in me before I left there. Before I got there, I had to be unlocked. And we didn't create an agent attraction system where agents chase us instead of chasing them when we left Puerto Rico. It was already in there before we left. It just had to be unlocked. And that's where everybody is, I think, right now. Like, there's things bigger in you that just has to be unlocked. That's the beauty of these type of rooms. You get in these type of rooms, you level up, you get around the people that are taking things to the next level, that think differently. When you think bigger, you do bigger. So when my thinking lined up with what was already in me, the action to change my situations lined up as well. So things always happen twice. It happens, you see it, and then you see it. So you see it in your mind, you see it in your heart, and then the manifestation of that particular thing comes out at that point. So I just had to wait for my life to catch up with my mind.
So I just want to leave you guys with one thought. Great quote from 10X is easier than 2X. What got you right here won't get you there. So will you take advantage of this pivotal moment that we have right now in front of us?
Yeah. Y'all follow us on social media. I appreciate everybody. Let's go, Charlotte. Let's go.
Charlotte Bill.